Ah, that's strange. All right, I'm gonna have to start again now. Um, Welcome to another episode of Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie, and I'm the host for today's show. Thank you, Madison, for pointing that out. I was just speaking on my own there for a second. Um, as I was saying on my own there, um, Premier League hasn't taken place for a couple of weeks, so it feels like it's been such a long time since I've done an episode. But glad to be back, and yeah, raring to go and talking about football again. So the big match for me during this match week is Leicester versus Liverpool. But before we speak about those two teams, I'd like to speak about the recent results in the FA Cup. Um, so we can talk about the shock result, which was Leicester losing to Nottingham Forest 4-1. Big shock result in terms of what happened. And I think managerial position-wise for Brendan Rodgers, he's been questioned right now. I think with Brendan Rodgers, he normally has that sort of phase in his managerial career where first couple of years he shows great signs, shows great philosophy in terms of how a team should play. But I would always question his defensive tactics. And, you know, we had him as a manager at Liverpool and the unfortunate season where we were very close to winning the league. That was one of the reasons why I feel like we just couldn't go past the finishing line as champions because due to game management, I feel like there were games where we should have kind of played a bit more defensively or got the first goal and just kept our shape throughout the game. I think he wanted to go a bit more attack, and it just didn't work. We didn't have the players or the capabilities to do that sort of football. And with Leicester as well, he's recruited quite well in terms of acquiring young players, but I think they sort of just lack that sort of one or two players that will take them to that next level. They've got Tielemans who might potentially be leaving in the summer, so it can kind of go, it can go either way next year. But in terms of this fixture, I feel like there's a bit more importance because the last time the two teams faced, Liverpool lost 1-0. I think Lookman scored the winning goal for Leicester as a super sub. So yeah, so it's in terms of form, obviously they're not in great form because they just lost to Nottingham Forest. We had a great win over the weekend against Cardiff City. Harvey Elliott made his return, which was fantastic. Luis Diaz, a new signing, made his debut. Unfortunately, got hurt on one of the challenges where I believe the defender Flint accidentally stepped on his knee. But I guess that's a sort of a welcome to English football moment for him, as yeah, he's definitely got scars after that. But I think it's also the first time that Liverpool have a fully fit squad. I think Origi is close to being fully fit, but other than that, I think everyone is fully fit. Which, you know, if this time last year we were struggling to even put centre backs in our team, so yeah, nice change of fortune in regards to that. Obviously, AFCON has just finished. Mane, Senegal were victorious yesterday. Obviously, heartbreaking for Mo Salah not to win, but I'm going to sound like my claim with the simplistic analysis is that there was always going to be one winner. And fortunately for Mane, it was him and his country who won the AFCON for the first time in the history. So big moment. I just saw a clip before I went on live, the scenes of the parade in Senegal, so which is very nice to see. So yeah, special moment for him and his country. Mo Salah obviously is probably hurting, but I believe he's actually arrived in Liverpool already. So he's planning on training. He wants to play against Leicester. Shows you his character, and he wants to just he's raring to go and just play football again. So great signs for Liverpool in that regards. In terms of the game itself, so let's do a predicted lineup for Liverpool. I think for Liverpool, it will be a strong outfit. So I think it'll be Alisson in goal. It'll be Trent Alexander-Arnold, right back, Robertson, left back, Van Dijk, who had a great performance against Cardiff City the other day. Konate came in and did really well as well, but I will probably reinstate Matip back into the lineup, as I feel like he's the better defender in terms of a partnership with Van Dijk. Midfield, Fabinho pretty much a shoo-in. Whenever he's fit, he's normally the first name in the midfield that we place. Thiago's back from injury, so I'm hoping he is the player that starts. Been looking forward to seeing Thiago back in the team, so I'll go for Thiago. I'm going to go for the star boy. I'm going for Elliot to be in the starting lineup. Bit adventurous, but I feel like the goal he scored over the weekend, and I feel like he's shown great strides to coming back. It might be a bit too soon, but maybe I'm being a little bit selfish as I want him to play from the start. I feel like he's such a dynamic player. He offers us something completely different in the midfield that probably our other defenders don't do. And because he's left-footed and he plays on the right side of our centre midfield position, he offers that unpredictability in terms of his play, but has some really good passing ability, makes some great through balls, can sort of rotate positions with whoever is playing on the right-hand side of the attack. So as variation in our play, so very, very effective play in our system. So I'd go for Elliot in the midfield, and the front three, I would probably go with Jota on the left, Firmino on the right. Oh, sorry, Firmino in the center, and I'd probably bring back Mo Salah as well. Might be too soon, don't get me wrong, but I feel like having just suffered that defeat, for some people, it's just better to just get into get into it and just play football straight away. Some people might want a little break to kind of have a breather. I feel like Mo Salah is one of those guys where he just wants to get stuck in and just get involved as soon as possible. So yeah, I would go for him. But let me know what you guys think in terms of the starting lineup. In terms of Leicester, I think it'll be pretty much the similar sort of formation that they placed last time. So I know their lineup against Nottingham Forest was a bit of a mixed one. But it's still pretty much a strong outfit. So you still had Harvey Barnes, still had Madison, Lookman, Iheanacho. I'm not sure in terms of Vardy's availability, but you'd expect Vardy to play, or Patson Daka, who was in great form in recent weeks as well. In terms of my score prediction, yeah, I'm hoping Liverpool flash Leicester City just because they beat us in December. I'm going for 3-0. I think we'll win with relative ease. Yeah, I'd like to see Firmino on the score sheet. I think it'll boost his confidence a bit more. Salah as well. And I'll go for another Harvey Elliott goal. Why not? So that's my prediction there. So what I'll do now, I will share a graphic with you guys and speak about the upcoming fixtures of Match Week 24. So there are a few games being played, and I'll just give you an overview of each game that's taking place and give you my thoughts and prediction of each game. So here we go. So let's get rid of this graphic so you can see my face. Here it is. So the first game, this is probably, I know I said Liverpool Leicester was a big game, I think, due to the quality, but in terms of importance, this is a big fixture, Newcastle and Everton. So both teams pretty much fighting for relegation, it's safe to say. Newcastle, for me, alongside Aston Villa, had probably the best transfer window, recruited some good players. So they got Matt Targett as a left back, they got Kieran Trippier as a right back, they got Bruno Guimaraes, who was a surprise signing. I didn't think they would be able to sign that caliber of player in January, considering they're in a relegation battle. And Chris Wood, who I wasn't really too impressed with, but I feel like it's a good, solid signing considering they stole him from Burnley, who is also his former team, I should say, is also in the relegation battle, has Premiership experience. So definitely a player that will help with their charge in maintaining that Premier League status in the meantime until Callum Wilson is back in the squad. So for me, really, really good signings. I probably would have expected them to sign a more of an established attacker or an attacking midfielder, i.e. a Jesse Lingard or Dele Alli. I think Lingard would have happened, but United were just playing hardball. So unfortunate for the player, and I feel like he needs a move to prolong his career. But it is what it is. He'll be a free agent in the summer. I'm sure he'll have a lot of interested parties as well. So obviously, kind of doesn't help his progress right now as he's trying to claim a place in the England squad with the World Cup coming up. But I think club career comes first in this situation for him. So let's hope he signs for a decent club. Definitely be in the Premier League level in the summer, and we'll see where he ends up. But back to this game, this is like a 6-pointer. Everton just recruited a new manager in Frank Lampard. I had a gut feeling that would be the appointment they will make. Not sure why I had that feeling, but maybe that little tussle he had with Klopp swayed it for Everton to appoint him as manager. Be like, oh, he's got a bit of bad blood with Klopp, so he'd be a great appointment. I don't know. Maybe that was my way of thinking there, but he made some very, very good signings on the last day of the transfer window. Definitely shows the pulling power he has as a former Premier League legend, to say the least. So Van der Beek, who for me is a top player, would definitely make a difference in that team. Dele Alli, there's still question marks in regards to his level of play. Where is he at right now? I think playing for a manager like Frank Lampard, who I'm sure he idolized growing up, as they both play similar positions. So you'd hope that he gets the best out of Dele Alli, but it's difficult to say. It's kind of, we'll see how it goes game by game. And I think he's definitely shown moments of brilliance, even under Conte. He showed 1 or 2 games where you can still see there's a player there, but it's that consistency that is what he lacks in his overall game. So the game itself, I'm going to go for Newcastle win. I think they'll just nick it 2-1. So that's my prediction there. The second game is West Ham versus Watford. My thoughts on this game, I'll go for a West Ham win. I think it'll be 1-0. The other one, Burnley versus Manchester United. So obviously Manchester United not going through great times. They've just lost to Middlesbrough on Friday night on penalties. Bruno Fernandes was awful in that game. Made some awful misses during that fixture there. Burnley at home, so obviously a tough place to get points regardless what time of the season it is. But right now they're fighting for relegation, so they have more of a purpose in terms of getting that win. So I think with this one, it'll be a draw. I'm going for a 1-1 result there. The next fixture, I'm going with Norwich City versus Crystal Palace. So with this one, I think Norwich City have shown some decent form in recent weeks, but I've been really impressed with Crystal Palace. So I'm going to go with an away win. So it'll be 1-0 to Crystal Palace. Just got a comment here from Madison Smith. Should we be rooting for Newcastle to get relegated? It depends who you support and how you feel, to be fair. I think I've got a sort of a soft spot for Newcastle just because over like the 90s, and probably revealing my age here, but in the 90s, in terms of the style of play that they present, especially under Kevin Keegan, really impressed me. And I feel like they've got such a passionate fan base that you appreciate those type of clubs, especially within your sort of home country. So I think in terms of rivals, no, they probably want Newcastle to be relegated, because if they maintain that status, then they'll be spending money left, right, and center in the summer. But I don't think it's as easy how people make it seem to be, because they won't be getting the elite players, in my opinion. They'll be getting players similar standard of Bruno Gomes, where good young players, but with that next step can hit the sort of ground running and maybe reach that next level of being a top player. So those are the type of players that I'm sure the top 6 will be trying to get over the course of the next few months anyway. So I don't think it's a bad thing that there's another team like that, but yeah, it depends who you support, because if you're a team like I think Arsenal, Manchester United, and Tottenham, where at this stage you're not fulfilling the potential or living up to the bill for your fan base, you've got another competitor who can really spend a lot of money. Might not have as much pulling power as other clubs, but we all know money talks in this day and age. So they can become a big force. I don't think it'll be in the near future, but I feel like with good acquisitions, just like the ones they made in January, they'll be a decent team next season. I don't think they'll be challenging for top four in like the next 2-3 years, depending on what type of level of players they recruit. But I'm sure a lot of fans would want Newcastle relegated. I'm pretty certain that a lot of managers would want Newcastle relegated as well. But that's what makes the Premier League interesting. So let's see how it goes in regards to that. So back to the predictions. So you've got Tottenham and Southampton. This is a good one because Southampton shown some great form recently as well. Tottenham slowly getting back to winning way. They had a good victory over the weekend in the FA Cup. I'm going for a Tottenham win. I think it will be 2-0 to Tottenham. The next fixture, you've got Man City and Brentford. I think the teams played recently, didn't they? I think it was a 1-0 victory for Manchester City there. I think in regards to this fixture, I'm expecting Man City to walk through Brentford there. I know it might potentially be the return of Eriksen. I'm not sure if he's starting this game. I know he trained today for Brentford for the first time, so even if he makes a small cameo, it'll be nice to just see him back on the pitch as well. But in regards to this match, I think it will end 3-0 to Manchester City there. Then you've got Aston Villa versus Leeds United. So that's a great fixture. I think Aston Villa recruited very well in the January window, signing Luka Dean and Philip Coutinho as well. So I feel like their team looks a bit more complete, more balanced. I think with Coutinho on the left, a lot of people question that signing in terms of what happens to Buendia. But from my recollection, Buendia always played his best football on the right-hand side for Norwich. I know in the Championship he was deployed more as a number 10, but when he was playing in the Premier League, he was playing on the right-hand side predominantly. So that's a good balance with two creative players, very tricky in terms of their dribbling and their ability on the ball. Both can score some crackers as well. So good wide players there. You've got Ollie Watkins, you've got Danny Ings. You've got some good midfielders as well. You've got McGuinn. You've got Jacob Ramsey, who looks very impressive. You've got Luka Dean, for me, one of the best left backs in the league. I probably wouldn't have said that as an Everton player, but now that he's not, I can say a bit more openly. But there's no doubt in his ability on the ball. Great delivery, especially with his early crosses. He's really good at that. You've got Cash as well on the right hand side. Konsa, Mings. Mings is probably question marks for a lot of people, but still a solid partnership there. They've got a solid 11 all round. So interesting fixture. I would go for a Villa win. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for Villa there. Liverpool and Leicester City. This game on prediction early on, so I'm going for 3-0. I said it was. And the final fixture is Wolves versus Arsenal. So Wolves have been the surprise package for me this season, as they don't play amazing football, but they're very well drilled, very organized, and very difficult to break down. And because of that, they're in the top half of the league. Some people have even said that they're challenging for top four, which, no, it's not the case. But they are around that perimeter there. I believe they're 7th or 8th right now. So, yeah, really interesting to see how their season unfolds. Obviously, they've just lost Adama Traore to Barcelona. So does that impact their team as much? Probably not so much as we probably would have imagined like a year or two ago, because he hasn't started regularly for that team. So yeah, it's probably a case of maybe getting him off the wage bill or freeing up some space in the squad for another signing in the summer. I'm not too sure. But yeah, an interesting fixture. Molineux is not an easy place to get points anyway, but I'm going for a 1-1. Draw. I don't think this game will have a lot of goals just due to the fact of how Wolves play. And I think Arsenal might find it tricky to break them down. Obviously, no Aubameyang as well, and no replacements brought in the transfer window. So it'll be interesting to see where the goals come from. I know it's a good time for Martinelli to be in that team, so I think it's a young player who'll be heavily looked on to get the goals. Lacazette for me should be doing a bit more in terms of his ratio into the goals and assists this season. Eddie Nketiah, a young player, but I feel like his time has come on. He's looked positive, but I feel like he should be scoring more goals in my opinion. And Saka has always been a solid player, but I feel like maybe it's too much pressure on him to get the goals as well at the same time. So yeah, I think in terms of financially, you looked at that Aubameyang sale and it's like, oh, it's good. We've got him off the wage bill. We're saving 25 odd million pounds this remaining 6 months of the season. Yeah, it made financial sense, but in terms of on the field, I don't feel like it helps because if you'd kept in and Arteta kind of just let bygones be bygones and then let him play, then it would have actually helped your season going forward. But at this stage, I don't know. I had Arsenal challenging for top four, but I have sort of doubts just because I don't feel like they have enough firepower to cement that fourth position. But who knows? But in terms of this fixture, I think it'll be a draw. I don't really see a lot of goals coming through with this one. So yes, so that wraps us up for today. So thank you for everyone tuning. Apologies for the beginning. Didn't realize I was on mute there. So thank you to Madison for highlighting that. The next episode will be this Friday, 11th of February. So the last fixture will be played on Thursday night. So I'll do an episode the next day, cover all the games that have taken place in match week 24. Plus, if there's any breaking news, give my thoughts on that, and potentially preview the upcoming games. I feel like games are taking place from the Saturday onwards, so it'll be a review of match week 24, but also a preview of match week 25 as well. So a bit more heavy content on this Friday. If you haven't already followed me on Instagram, please make sure to follow me at Ozzie.ftp. I have a show every Monday at 10:30 p.m. on Instagram Live. So if you'd like to come on, make an appearance, or just get involved with the comments or start a debate, feel free to join me on Monday nights. And if you're new to the channel, please, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. We appreciate the support. If you hit the notification bell, you'll be notified of any new content coming up. So hopefully some more content coming up in the near future for you guys. But as always, thank you again for tuning in, and I hope to see you all very soon. Take care and good night.